Welcome, Irish fans, to this week's edition of the Jack Swarbrick Show. On today's show, we will chat with Notre Dame women's soccer senior captain Kaylee Olmstead, visit with electrifying football wide receiver Equanimous St. Brown, and hear from senior associate athletics director Mike Harity. But first, to get things started, here are your hosts, Jack Swarbrick, Notre Dame football captain James Onwualu, and Notre Dame softball pitching ace Rachel Nasland.
Guys, welcome back. There's so much going on, I don't know where to begin. The Cubs hat is probably a good place to begin. For those of you listening on radio, Rachel is donning a Cubs hat today in support of the Cubbies. Now, as we tape this show, first pitch is about to happen. So we can't congratulate the winners or do any of that. But this campus is all about the Cubs, isn't it?
Yeah, Chicago is flying the W tonight.
She said confidently. I was at Game 5. Great atmosphere. You know, you love sporting events that sort of reach that level of excitement and tension and fun. Cubs did a great job. The entire Chicago police force was ringing Wrigley Field.
I'm sure.
It was amazing. But great night, great fun, and you know, we wish our friends at the Cubs well. By the time you all are watching this or listening to it, you will know the outcome, and hopefully it was good for our friends in Chicago. More significantly,
football.
A great football game
over
the weekend.
It was a blast. I'm excited to talk about it. Really proud of the guys, you know, coming back from, you know, a couple losses and some adversity, and, you know, continuing to fight through practice and showing up to games with great enthusiasm. So really pumped about the weekend and excited to keep that going.
It was a great defensive effort. You know, if you take out the struggles we have with special teams, the onside kick and the punt and some of the other things, the defensive effort was really stout, including having Geron named the defensive player of the week. A nice recognition for him, but also the entire defense.
No, yeah, absolutely. As a unit, you know, we've just tried to be the solution to, you know, turning this around, and just tried to focus on getting better every single week, and that's exactly what we've done. So, and, you know, Geron, so happy for him. Yeah. You know, he's had a couple different challenges in his career, but it just shows his potential. He's an unreal player and could do that every game, and he's working towards that. So exciting to see him to get those accomplishments.
Now, we set like a 20-year record for tackles for loss in that game.
Yeah, I think we had 10 or something, which is unreal.
A lot of QB pressures, sacks. What contributed to all that?
Just continuing to practice that way. You know, we've put an emphasis on a few things, third down being one of them, affecting the quarterback being another, especially last week with the quarterback being so good and one of the best we've seen. So putting an emphasis on those things and making sure the D-line and everybody that will be on pressures knows that's what we're going for, and we got it done. So,
you know, we talked all year about, you know, it's just a play here, it's just a play there, and those that sort of consistently gone against us, your heart must have been in your throat when that ball got loose on the goal line.
Yeah, I didn't see the actual ball come out, but I popped up, heard the crowd go crazy, and heard from some teammates around me because we were getting some coaching points on the sideline. But, of course, something like that's going to happen. Thank God.
Yeah.
Deshaun ran over there and
our
saved
quarterback
it.
Came out of that scrum with it. So that was,
exactly. Down there fighting for the ball. I know they can get pretty nasty. So
that was pretty great. One of the really nice things about this game for me was I got to visit with a number of former players who were in town.
Yeah.
Ronnie Stanley, Capron Lewis Moore, Romeo. I didn't see Stefan. I heard he was in town, but I didn't run into him. It must be nice for you guys to have those guys who are playing so well in the NFL come back and visit.
Yeah, it's fun for me too because, you know, when you're younger, a lot of these older guys come back and you don't really know them because you didn't really play with them. But Ronnie was one of my roommates for a few years, and Romeo is one of my, you know, close buddies. So, you know, having those guys come back is really fun. And, you know, reminiscing about when they were here and how big time they are now is always fun. So
the challenge this week couldn't be more different from the challenge last week. As you said, we faced a great quarterback in a pretty traditional pro-style offense, if you will.
Exactly.
Now we have another great quarterback, but it's a completely different challenge, right?
Yeah, totally different challenge with, you know, this whole option deal, and it's a totally different game plan. You know, you don't really practice for this the whole year, so it comes out of nowhere, and really have to hit the ground running with preparing for it and do a little bit extra just to make sure that you're on point with your assignment.
Boy, the difference this year is they're throwing for a ton of yards.
Which is crazy.
Right.
This team's the one that you don't really have to worry about the ball going over your head, and the corners and safeties kind of fall asleep a little bit, but they're throwing the ball. I think they said 150 yards average or something like that, so it's much more than in the past. So we'll see.
Well, I've been at most of this week's practice, and that same enthusiasm and energy is there.
Oh, absolutely.
It feels great, and so we're looking forward to. We'll leave a little early for Jacksonville because it's a crazy early kick time, right?
Yeah.
11:30.
Yeah, heading out tomorrow after our practice and get settled in, have a nice workout or practice on Friday, and then up early, 11:30. So.
Now the other notable sort of event of the week were the costumes I got to witness, including by my co-hosts.
Yeah.
Now yours made it online, right?
We did a little trick-or-treating event over at the Goog on Sunday. A lot of coaches' families, but also a bunch of kids from the community came by, and we all had our little stations. I had the piñatas going for the kids to hit. We had a little dance room, obstacle course, and there were some interesting costumes. I was the lobster.
Yes.
What happened to the banana suit? All the guests are wondering.
I made an audible. Called an audible on that one and went with the lobster. It was just better for me. Method
acting. He could feel it.
Yeah, the banana just wasn't.
Identified with the lobster a little more.
Yeah, no doubt. So, Jerron was Snow White.
And that got a lot of social media attention.
Yeah, of course. I picked that out for him.
Yeah, he was a pretty princess.
He was running in. I was like, hey, I got the perfect one for you. Last costume. So we put him in that. I think the kids like that. So it was fun. Fun weekend. All around.
And Rachel, I ran into you as a gold medalist, right?
Yes. Big dream of mine. My class dressed up for lift on Friday with our team, and my class was the 5 Olympic gymnasts. So we had American flag swimsuits and real gold medals on.
Yeah.
A lot of glitter.
I saw that.
Glitter.
There was a lot of glitter.
Got out of hand a little bit, but it was fun. It was a good time.
And you were also involved in a community outreach through that, right?
On this past Monday on Halloween,
right.
The student athletes with SAC on campus got together and kind of just had a fun night together. We played kickball at the softball field, and everyone came and dressed up, and we got a great turnout from a lot of different teams. Deshaun was there, EQ was there too, and I think almost someone from every team, which is really fun, and we just kind of let loose and hung out there.
That's great. And in part because of the weather, I can tell you the trick-or-treaters were out in force. I got wiped out. I thought I had more than enough candy, and I was...
Yeah, we still have our bucket that I'm eating because we got nobody.
Oh, man.
I think the parents know better than to send their kids near campus.
True. I guess I'm a little too close to campus.
I can only tell you I was in the hundreds because I was prepared, and... By about 7:15, it was lights out, door locked, pretend I'm not here.
No extras for you. Huh?
There was nothing.
Well, it ended up being beautiful compared to the past. 2 years ago on Halloween, it snowed.
Oh, yeah?
And, it snowed exactly on Halloween.
Sounds
and then
like Minnesota.
Last week I thought winter hit too, and then football Saturday comes and it clears right up.
Beautiful day.
Oh, this whole week.
Yeah.
And, a storm passing through now that'll change it, but we've been in the 70s, typical South Bend November weather. Mm-hmm. He says what I was telling everybody.
Yeah, exactly. All the recruits.
All the recruits.
This is how it always is.
January, it's just as hot.
Till next year.
It's always this way. Well, there is certainly, as indicated, it's been a busy but fun time on campus. A lot going on that we'll try and touch on the very end of the show. But why don't we take a break, and we'll get to a really jam-packed show with some great guests. We'll be back in a minute.
Stepping onto that field, letting your teammates rushing around you, fans, the bright lights, it's incredible.
The shot from McGowan, and she scores!
And we know that there's no easy games throughout the season. Every game, it's going to be a fight.
Great footwork. Little makes the diving save.
It's like this team is a family. You're playing for something that's bigger than yourself.